YouTubers, what's going on? I don't know. I haven't made a video in a couple days, so we're gonna make a video, right? Let's do a video. Let's do this. The past is not real. I think that was the last one I did. It's not, right? What I said didn't even happen. Well, I mean, it did happen, but it's not happening now, right? So I just made a video about staying grounded. So grounded means that you're actually. This is secret here. Maybe I'll before we pull cards here, we'll talk about state of reality stuff. But the truth shall set you free. Well, if you're believing in something that's not true, then you're not free, right? You're always in some kind of bondage. So any kind of fear, anxiety, or anything like that, or guilt or resentment, because that's in the past, that's not true. It's not even real. The only thing that's real is right now. Eckhart Tolle kind of broke through state of consciousness when he wrote that book, right? Power Now. Hangman, we're juggling stuff. I can resonate with that. We're in the hangman position. Enlightened state, though. Somewhat in enlightened state. So this actually reminds me of the grounded state. Because if the truth sets you free and you're always in the grounded state, energy follows the path of least resistance. Think of it that way. So if you're always in the grounded state and you're always able to ground out negative energies in your environment, then you'll naturally attract those energies, but you'll be of service to those energies. You're grounding that out, right? False realities. Somebody has fear or anxiety about the future, can ground that out because you're staying present. It's like, what do we need to do right now? Right? Or any kind of guilt or resentment, like that's in the past, right? That's not, we could carry the past forward, but now we're just creating momentum in three-dimensional reality and we're not ascending in consciousness. That's why forgiveness in and of itself, the way the Bible presents it, and the Bible actually doesn't talk about how this is an ascension process of forgiveness is that state, because the Bible gets misrepresented in a lot of ways, right? You have to, for one thing, if you're not forgiving yourself of something that you did in the past, then you're not in that grounded state. And that grounded state creates a slow-moving, loving energy for everybody in your environment. And brings you to the Six of Wands. Victory. Right? You're always going to be in a victorious state if you're staying present and doing the things that people need for you. Needs, right? When you're present, you're completely present, and you're just listening to everything that's happening around you. You have no need. Right? It's only when you have a need, when you're worried about something generally, right? It's an emotional attachment to like, ooh, I need this in order to create an emotional state, right? That's how sales works. When you're trying to sell something to somebody, you have to create a negative, an emotional state that's saying, oh, I need that. And in a way, all of us are presenting things that people need. And so if you need to be able to teach people how to stay grounded, then that's a need that they may have. There's no secret on how to get grounded in today's world, right? I mean, swimming, just meditation practices and fasting practices where you're getting out of your own way and making sure that you're listening correctly to what's happening around you. When you close your eyes and I know I'm probably saying things that a lot of you guys already understand. But when you close your eyes and you have too many thought forms kind of running through your head, you're not in a grounded state, right? It's unconscious thought forms that are showing up in your biofield. So healing the body, the mind and body is all about healing those unconscious thought forms so that you're more aware. Your awareness continues to get heightened when you're constantly, it's a daily practice, right? So we got the hermit energy, right? The hermit, the daily practice of, but then a little bit of dissatisfaction in our environment, right? Being handed a cup and refusing it from the divine. That's sitting in your Nine of Cups, Nine of Pentacles energy. Loving Nine of Pentacles energy. This is emotional well-being and abundance. What do we got going on around us, right? Sword of Truth. You are living in your truth. Now, staying in the field, and I feel like I'm being prompted to say this because I don't know if I expressed it in the last video. When you're present in the field, you're just present in the field. The field is ever present. There's nothing ever happening later or sooner. And this is how you collapse time. This is how you're raising your consciousness into other thought forms. And you're always in the balanced state. It's impossible to fall out of the balanced state if you're always completely present. And it's a state of love, right? Because if you're completely connected in the field, that's a state of love. It's a bliss, right? Where there's no need for anything. There's no thinking about the past. You just take everything and then you can ground out any kind of negative thought forms coming from your environment. Most of the time, it's a predatory attack, right? A predatory attack would be something that's trying to feed off of you, but you can ground out that energy if you're grounded at all times and in a never-ending state of peace, right? Energy follows the path of least resistance. And if you're the ground for everything, then you end up grounding everything out. And you're always in the Fool energy. This is the grounded state. The 0 point, right? You're not creating, you're not receiving. You might be receiving, but in the grounded state, you could be creating or receiving. And staying grounded the whole time, right? Present. Yeah. I love this card. This is my favorite card. This is my favorite card. I like that other interpretation on the other deck where you're jumping out on a rainbow, the Wanderer. And we're trying to think about our choices, right? I mean, there's so many choices when you're in the grounded state. And there's so many aspects. Pick which part of the dream you want to live in. That's the 7 of Cups energy, right? You're kind of the magician thinking about which reality you want to pick, right? Because now you can create whatever you want. Yeah. What do you want to create? What do you want to create? Well, you're correctly able to interpret your environment, for one thing. This is a good reading, right? I mean, you're in your High Priestess energy. What else? What else are we creating? It's you got to be more. You want to do more than just being, because your feminine is your High Priestess energy. This is how you're using your intuition and seeing what's in your environment. But now we got to make choices. Right? What choices are we? What are we going to create? Right now, I guess I'm creating a reading. Temperance. I guess that's right. Because when Temperance is all about healing energy. This is when we're providing that healing energy for our environment. We're staying grounded. So we're correctly interpreting what's coming at us, and then we're grounding that and creating balance. because healing is always a balancing act, right? Where you're healing people's state, where they think that they're not good enough, or they're have a negative idea about themselves. So you guys are healing your environment. I don't think it gets much better than that, right? This is the healing channel. You guys are all healers. Staying present. Because when you're in the present, you could be in any reality. But if you're focusing on the future, the past, you're pulling yourself into a false reality, right? I just had a card fall out. That's fine. Let's see where that is. Ace of Cups. Emotional. This is pure love, right? This is pure potential love. And these two goes hand in hand, right? Let's get an oracle card and call it a day. I think this is a pretty good reading. What do you guys think? In the grounded state, you can experience, and you can be experiencing images of the future, right? But the past already happened. Oh yeah, I was watching one part of, and tell me if you guys resonate with this in the comments. One part of Dune 2 where it was right before Paul decides to head back south to take the water of life. And he heard like a cacophony of voices. He kind of got down and touched the sand, which is kind of a way of grounding yourself, right? Listening. What is everything telling me right now? What do I need to hear? And he heard like a voice in the sand say, you have to remember the past before you can understand your future, because everything is cyclic. We're at the end of a 24,000 year cycle, so we have to remember the past to see where our future lies. Time out. That means taking a time out sometimes, right? Take a time out. In order to remember the past, you got to take a time out. Just working constantly, you'll never be able to remember the past in order to make a decision for the future. I love this picture of the tree too. In this timeout picture, it's like multicolored. Everything on the light side of the tree. So this is all about feeling it. Look at that face on the bottom side. If you guys can see that, there's like a face hidden there. So this is remembering and reflecting and being shown things that you need to paths forward, maybe new paths forward, maybe a place you've never gone before. But you did, really, right? We all were there. It's kind of a something that happens again over and over, but in a little bit different way, right? I never noticed that face before. That's really interesting. So this is guidance from the past. That's why you take a time out. Hope this reading helps you guys. Love you. Have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you in the next one.